danced in the morning when the world was begun, and I danced in the moon and the stars and the sun, and I came down from heaven and I danced on the earth. At Bethlehem I had my birth. Dance then wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I lead you all wherever you may be, and I lead you all in the dance, said he.
Good morning and welcome to Easter in a Bag. If you don't know who I am, I'm Jo. I'm the Youth, Children and Families Development Worker for the Avon Valley Churches. Thank you for joining us this morning. Lovely to see you, and I hope you're looking forward to doing the crafts that we've prepared for you for this week. So before you open your first envelope, just check that you have an envelope for each day. So there should be one for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. They're all different shapes and sizes because we've got all different things going on, and particularly for different age groups. So you should have your age group on the front of the bag. Every day, we're going to be telling you about a different person and showing you how they have made a difference to the world. And do let us know if you've got anything missing or you need anything, because we'll try and help you if we can. To do the crafts, you will need a glue stick and a pair of scissors and, if possible, some sellotape. And often pens are quite a good idea as well. So that's your basic kit, but everything else you need will be in your envelopes. The theme of Easter in a Bag is We Are an Easter People, and every day we're looking at the wonderful and unique impact of everyday people just like us. Today we're going to be telling you about Mary Magdalene. And Mary Magdalene was a great friend of Jesus who lived through the most important times of his adult life. She is the first Easter person of the week that we're going to think about and hear about. And here is Jeremy to tell you more.
Greetings. I'd like to tell you about Mary Magdalene. Think of a really super lady, someone very special, a lady who makes good things happen, a lady to go to if you've got a problem, a lady who puts her heart into everything that she does, so she always does it well and with a smile. Well, in the Bible, there is a lady just like that. Her friends call her Mary M, because there were several Marys among her friends. The M stands for Magdala, which is the village that she comes from. If people were being formal, they would call her Mary Magdalene. Here's a picture of what she may have looked like. Very lovely person. She was one of Jesus's team. She was probably the leader of the friends of Jesus, otherwise known as the disciples. Also in the team were the 12 men who were being trained to carry on Jesus' message to the world. They were called the apostles. You see, Jesus had a mission to tell the world what life really was about, and to tell that after this life, there is everlasting life in heaven. Jesus had once cured Mary of a problem. She called it a little devil of a problem. The Bible doesn't tell us what it was, but we know that it was either a fever or else a problem with her hearing or something like that. Anyway, Jesus made her well. Some books say that Mary did naughty things when she was much younger, but the Bible doesn't say that. These people are mixing her up with another Mary who was much later on, Mary of Egypt. Here's a picture of this lady looking very thin, and she was working in the desert. Some also say that Mary M washed Jesus' feet, but the Bible doesn't say that either. That story belongs to another Mary, Mary of Bethany, who lived at the other end of the country. Here's a picture of Mary of Bethany. She's a lovely looking person. She was a great friend of Jesus's. Now, Mary M. kept an eye on the money for the mission. She encouraged rich people to contribute to the funds. She and a few friends made sure that there was always enough money to pay for everything. From time to time, they'd even used their own money to help out. Mary M. was always there for Jesus. She was with him even in the toughest of times. When he was dying, she was there praying for him. Then Jesus died and was placed in a tomb. But after 3 days, he came back to life again, because he wanted us all to understand about going to heaven after we have died. Then, when he'd come back from the dead, the very first person that he talked to was Mary M., the leading lady in his team. Mary Magdalene is a wonderful and lovely person. She's my favourite lady in the whole Bible. I wonder whether Joe agrees.
Yes, Jeremy, you're right. There are lots of Marys in the Bible, and Mary Magdalene is definitely one of my favourite Marys from the Bible. So now we are going to try our first craft. So in your envelope, if you have a 0 to 2 envelope, you're probably going to have some help from your parents, which is great. We want you to have help from your parents or carers. You should have a piece of card like this and a paper cup like this. And if you can see on there, that's going to be the first piece that you're going to cut out. As you remember, Mary was one of the first to go to the tomb and one of the first to see Jesus. And she is mentioned by name by all of the writers whose books are in the Bible, who tell this story about Jesus, and they are Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. John's story of Mary Magdalene is that she was crying, and when a man spoke to her, she thought it was the gardener, but it was actually Jesus. So this craft is when Mary comes to the tomb, and you can see on the picture that she's crying there before she sees Jesus and knows that it's him. So you are going to need scissors to cut all your pieces out. So the first thing we'd like you to do is take the green part and cut it out like so. So we're just cutting that out. It doesn't have to be very precise. And then we'd like you to stick it to your cup like this. Now you can use glue as well, or you can use sellotape, which I find it actually helps to have sellotape to stick it to the cup well. Now can you see that you've got the little door there? So we're going to cut the door out like so. And then as we put that down, that means that we have a little viewer so we can see inside the tomb. Okay. Next we're going to cut out the little grey box on there, and as I said before, this is where they lay Jesus. So cut out this one and fold along the lines, and it should look something like this. Now to bring it all together, you can use glue, or I've actually used sellotape there to make it all stick together, and that's the little bed where Jesus lay. Then you'll need to cut out the stone. Can you see that? And this stone is going to cover the front of the tomb, but it's going to be rolled away to start off with. the next figure you're going to cut out is Mary. And if you see right at the top of your page, you have a little stand there. So when you cut the stand out, you can make slits in the stand, and then Mary can sit in the stand like this. So she can actually sit next to the tomb. And then finally, we have Jesus. Now remember, Jesus comes along after. So we can have Mary sitting by the open tomb, and then Jesus comes along after and says, Mary, and Mary says, Rabboni, which means teacher. I can imagine she was very pleased to see him. So that's your 0 to 2 craft activity of recreating the tomb with a paper cup and the bed where Jesus lay, the stone that rolled in front, and your 2 characters here. Oh, well done. And now on to our next craft. Now for our preschool craft. So we're hoping that the preschoolers might be able to do this on their own. I don't know, with a little bit of help from a grandparent or a parent or a carer. So you should have in your envelopes 2 pieces of card. Now you have this lovely scene in black and white, and you have the colourful Mary to position onto this one. I don't know if you've ever done those lovely activities where you change the dresses of the dolls. Well, this is a bit like that. So you cut these pieces out and you stick them with glue on here. So you will need some glue and a pair of scissors again. Now as you cut out these pieces, what you should find is when you've finished and you've cut out all the pieces and you've stuck them to your picture, it should look something like this. So I hope you enjoy doing that. I've just enjoyed doing mine and trying to work out which way especially the sleeves go actually. So I'm open to any suggestions with that. And now we move on to our Key Stage 1 craft. So when you open your envelopes, you should have a little sachet like this. And I'm going to hand over to Heather, and she's going to tell you how to make this. Now the reason why, so in here is a foot scrub. And the reason why we've done a foot scrub today is for 2 reasons. So Mary was a great friend to Jesus, but as Jeremy said, lots of people misunderstand that she put perfume on his feet or she washed his feet and so on and so forth. But we don't actually have that information. So this foot scrub today, we're doing this for 2 reasons. The first reason is for you to be a really good friend to someone in your family, because you're going to give them a foot pamper with this scrub. So that's one reason. And also we're using this foot scrub to scrub out the idea that Mary was pouring perfume on Jesus' feet, because we know that that certainly wasn't Mary Magdalene. So we're going to scrub that idea away today. So here's Heather, who's going to tell you how.
Afternoon, everybody. We have a lovely demonstration today. We're going to make a foot scrub. In your bag, you will have, in your bag here, you will have half a cup of white sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, and what makes it wonderful is the cinnamon, which is 1 teaspoon, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, and 1/4 teaspoonful of ground ginger. If you put all this in your bowl, you could also make this with lemon essence without the spices, or you could make it orange if you like. See, when it's all like this, Oh, what a beautiful smell. Next thing, if you mix it with some oil, you can use all sorts of different oil. Doesn't have to be vegetable oil that I've got. Now let's see, there's 2 tablespoons there. No, it's going to need a little bit more than that. There we go. Well, that's about 4 tablespoons altogether. Oh, there may be a touch more. Hang on. That's it. I reckon I've put 5 tablespoons. Oh, that's lovely. That's it. Well, now if you put your fingers in it, you can, yeah, it's lovely. And it smells so lovely. Well, good luck when you're using it for your foot scrub. It feels lovely and gritty on your feet. Yeah, lovely. Good luck. Have a good time.
Hopefully by the time you see this video, you've made up your sugar foot scrub, and we're going to show you how to do a little foot pamper. So first of all, make sure you've got a towel handy, if not 2 towels, because it can get a bit wet. And get a nice bowl of warm bubbly water. I put some nice strawberry shower gel in there to make it nice, and sit for a few minutes and have a nice soak in the warm water. And when you've done that, you're ready for a bit of a scrub. So if I could have one foot up on the side, please. You need to dry the foot off a little bit first before you put your sugar scrub on. That's it. And then here's my sugar scrub all nicely mixed up. So you need to get a nice handful of that, and then you can start the scrubbing. There we go. So you rub it all over the foot. Yeah. Oh, it smells lovely. I have to say, I'm really getting the smell of all those spices. That's lovely. If you've got very ticklish feet, it might be best just to do the top of the foot. But if you've got somebody who doesn't have tickly feet, then it's really nice to do all round underneath the feet as well. And when you've really massaged that in nicely, then you can put your foot back in the water and rinse it all off. And I can assure you that's made the foot feel all soft. That's lovely. There we are. And if you're feeling extra specially kind, when you've finished scrubbing the foot for the person, you can dry it off again, and then you can rub in some nice moisturiser for them so their foot feels really soft and sweet smelling. Have fun with your foot scrub.
So I hope you enjoyed making your foot scrub, Key Stage 1. Do send us any photos if you've got any photos of any of your crafts that you've done, or if you've taken a video of doing somebody else's feet. We would love to see it. Do share it with us. So for our Key Stage 2 craft, we are going to make a friendship bracelet. Can you see that? And I'm going to show you how to do that. So in your envelope you should have 5 strands of embroidery thread that are 4 feet long. So you should have 5 different colours, and what I'm going to show you today is how to make a 5-strand bracelet. You can make 3-strand bracelets as well. All of the details are on the internet, so you can look them up, but I've had a lot of fun making these. So the first thing we're going to do is fold these strands in half. Okay, now don't worry if you've got some uneven ends. That's fine, because what we'll do at the end is we'll chop them all off. There is quite a lot. If you look at my bracelet I made earlier, there is quite a lot left over, so you can just chop those off. So if you fold them in half and tie a knot at the top like this. Then the best thing to do is sellotape your ties to the table on the loop. So don't sellotape it, which is what I did first. Don't sellotape it underneath the knot, because then you won't be able to pull the threads. What you're trying to do is you're going to braid or plait the strands that are the same colour. So the first thing you need to do is separate the strands out into their colours. So then put 3 colours on the left and 2 colours on the right. Doesn't matter which order you do them in. Now the working cord is the cord on the outside, and it's on the outside where the 3 cords are together. So the way that you plait this bracelet is you go over the second one and under the third one. So then you have 3 cords to the right hand side. So you've got a working set over the right hand side and 2 on the left. So 3 pairs on the right, 2 pairs on the left. Then you start from the right and go over the one next to it and under. Then pull all the cords up tightly to secure it at the top and to start making the plait nice and dense. If you see here, I got a little bit better as time went on compared to the beginning. It's a little bit loose. So as you do each strand, you pull them up so that they make the bracelet. So you start from the left, you have 3 pairs to the left, 2 to the right. You go over and under from the left. That means you have 3 pairs on the right. Then you take the outside one and go over and under. So you then have 3 pairs to the left again. You take the left one and go over and under, and that gives you 3 pairs to the right. Then you take the outside one and you go over and under, and you just repeat that all the way down. When you've got the length that you require, you tie a knot just by turning the cord round and pulling tightly. And as you can see there, I've done that knot there. Then the next thing you'd like to do is to tie it on your wrist. So put the strands through the hole like so. Find your desired length, which for me is about there, and then you can tie it up. And I'm going to cut, because I don't need all those, do I? And there's my friendship bracelet. And you can make them in all different colours. You can make them with wool. You can make them any way you like. And there we have it. So I hope you enjoy making those. Again, we've given you 5 strands to make a bracelet, but if you've got some wool at home, or if your parents have got some embroidery thread, by the way, this embroidery thread, if you buy it on places like Amazon, it's so cheap. You can buy lots of different colours, and you can make out of each reel, which is about the size of that, you can make 1 bracelet. So if you get 5 different colours, then you can make 6 bracelets out of each of these. So it's really lovely if you get lots of different colours, and there are so many colours to choose from. And you can give them away as gifts as well. We're remembering today that Mary Magdalene was a good friend to Jesus. She had great faith, and she provided for him in all sorts of ways. Today we're encouraging you to remember her and remember what it's like to be a really good friend to someone. So do show us them when you've made them. We would love to see your photos. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed today, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for Easter in a Bag. Goodbye.
Dance then wherever you may